Hey guys, I'm Danny Hernandez. I'm here with Casey Kelly and Justin Seaton. We're going to talk to them a little bit about their Bassmaster fishing and for Tarleton State University. So, how'd you guys get started fishing for the school? Did you guys, come up and just be like, hey, I can fish. Like, let me make some money for us or something.
Okay, well, the club started I think 6 years ago, and personally, my freshman year, I didn't know we had a bass fishing team. It was very low key. There was probably maybe 5, 6 people on the team, and I had a buddy who through Twitter, I got to see him posting pictures and stuff. I messaged him and, hey man, let's go fishing, and that just kind of developed into a friendship, and we started fishing. I realized he was on the team, and that was my sophomore year. We started fishing as a team for Tarleton. Then that same guy this year is actually fishing Kaysen, so it's pretty cool. His name's Stetson Overton. He's I guess got both of us fishing for Tarleton, so he's a good dude.
So you came up through the same way, social media, or just?
Social media, yeah. I just kind of heard around that Tarleton had a great bass club, and my senior year I just really wanted to check it out. I came, toured the school, loved it, the small feel, campus, everything, and it really just kept snowballing from there.
So in competitions, what do you guys? So what does competition consist of? What goes on during competition?
So we'll just start off. We have, I think, Mondays are official practice days, and that runs, it's daylight to dark, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have a meeting on Wednesday, pre-tournament meeting, that we get to meet a lot of cool stuff. We get to meet pros at this thing. We get briefed on, the procedures of the tournament and all that kind of stuff, and then usually take off 7 o'clock on Thursday morning for the BASS tournaments. And then they're 3-day events. If you make it to the third day, they take the top 20 or however many it is according to the field. There's a cut line. If it's over that, they take an additional person or additional team to the field, and then that's how they know the number that qualify for a national championship too. So they'll cut it down. We'll say top 20 on day 2, and then so the day 3 they only take the top 20 teams, and they compete to win the tournament.
So are the winners? Is it by weight?
Yes,
by
sir.
weight of the fish, or like by weight of the catch, the total catch, or something?
Right. We're allowed a 5 bass limit,
Okay.
and in Texas it's 14 inches. Most everywhere in the country it's 14 inches. Certain lakes might have different regulations, but most every tournament we'll fish collegiately is a 5 bass limit, and each day you just add your 5 fish to, say, day 1's weight, you'll have 5 fish. Day 2, you have your 5 fish. You combine them to get your total weight.
Now, would you say bass fishing is more skill or strategy? Is it
It's a lot of both.
lot of both?
It's definitely
It really
a lot of
is.
both. There's
You gotta know where to throw the line, where to throw.
Right, exactly. You definitely have to do your homework, and that's why the practice days are so important. If you have a bad practice, it doesn't mean you're going to have a bad tournament, but it definitely means that you're going to have to work a little harder during the tournament. During our practice days, we try to spend as much time as we possibly can out on the water and put ourselves in the best chance to do good in the tournament. But certain days, you just can't, things don't go right, so you just kind of have to get over that and just keep pushing and keep fishing.
So you fish with who? Stetson?
Stetson Overton.
So how long have y'all kind of built up a friendship? Y'all know each other. Y'all know what y'all, I guess, prefer, what like to do, and while you guys are
know each
going.
other pretty well from the time that we have been fishing together. I'm just a freshman, so it's my first year fishing for Tarleton, and I got paired up with him, and we really started fishing a lot together and getting to know each other's styles of fishing. He likes to stay shallow. He doesn't like to fish deep, uses graphs, so I've kind of adapted to that.
You try to have as much fun as you can, because at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, and
Yeah.
and you're out on the water with your buddy and you're fishing. So you try to have as much fun as you possibly can, but certain days you're just not going to have fun. It's a grind, and it can downright tear you apart, or it can make you a champion. There's 2 ways to look at it. one of my very favorite professional anglers, Jared Swindle, he says PMA, positive mental attitude. He said if you don't have a positive mental attitude about your day, about your life, about tying your shoe, your day's gonna be rough. So there's definitely days out there that it is tough and nothing goes right. You just gotta keep casting and believe in your partner, or, not expect, but just really hope and appreciate your practice and hope everything goes well.
Where do y'all, say if there's a competition in Kentucky or with Tennessee, where do y'all practice?
Well, around here, a lot of bass fishing is seasonal. So there's 4 seasons of bass fishing, just like fall, summer, and the fish, they have their patterns according to season. So if we're fishing in Kentucky or somewhere up north, they're a little bit farther behind us. So right now they're in a pre-spawn pattern up north, and personally I was catching fish on beds, like spawning fish, really shallow this past weekend. So it all depends on the time of the year. And so if we know we're going to Kentucky and it's colder water, we're gonna try to practice around the house somewhere out deep, and maybe you won't catch as many fish around here deep this time of the year, but you definitely try to go get some confidence in that kind of stuff. What do you think?
And most of the practice that we do is at the actual lake before the tournament, because every body of water is different. You can't go to a lake around here and by that judge what the fish will be doing in Kentucky Lake. So it's really a basis of whether or not the fish are in the expected pattern that you think they'll be in.
All right.
And you just got to judge that by location, temperature, lots of different stuff.
You got a lot to figure out in 2 or 3 days of practice.
Yeah.
But
y'all head at that a little bit earlier than the actual day for the competition or tournament.
Right.
Head out there maybe a week early or something like
well,
that.
yeah, that would be great. But with college fishing, we're trying to go to school and everything, so we can't leave exactly when we want to. But we try to push it as far as we can. We try to get as much practice in as we can. If it's 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, like Rayburn, there were some of us that got to go down there a week before, and it's close enough, and it was at the beginning of the school that we weren't real busy. But like right now around midterms and then spring break coming up, everybody's trying to have tests and stuff. Practice is getting pretty tough. You're trying to just squeeze everything and try to get with your teachers and work as much as you can to get some practice time.
Now, is the Bass Club, is it funded by y'all, or is it funded by, is there like a school organization that's?
It's we're a part of Rec Sports.
Okay.
And we get, at the beginning of the year, we get $1,000 from Rec Sports. Dr. Tavio actually gave us money at the beginning of this year too, and then we do a lot of fundraising, and then we thank our parents a lot, because that's our biggest sponsors at the end of the day. And without our parents and without the support of Dr. Tavio and Rec Sports, we wouldn't have much funding other than that. But like I said, Kaysen's taken upon himself to do a lot of raffling for us, and he did a really good job last week on one, actually.
So what is the raffling that you do?
Last week we just finished up a raffle for some hammer rods, real nice rods, and they're our title sponsor actually this year, and we're really lucky to work with them. Love their products, great people even. And we were raffling off a couple of 7-foot medium heavy rods, and we had a good response to that out at a high school tournament and just around here. People willing to buy, help us out some. And we actually just started a raffle right now for some sand-tone lures, and it's a bunch of jigs, buzz baits, spinner baits, even a Yeti cup in there.
Okay.
So.
And Kathy at Sandtone, she really takes care of us. Every year we go to a national championship, and on our way out, go through East Texas, headed east, we get to stop in, and she takes care of us. She's a very nice lady, and I mean, for what she does for us, we can't thank her enough. We get a lot of product for a very discounted price, and it's great stuff. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
What events y'all got coming up?
This is our busiest time of the year, so we have Kentucky Lake next week.
Yep.
We have Kentucky Lake next week, and then we have Texoma in a couple weeks. We have, what else do we have? We have Dardanelle.
Yeah, Dardanelle's
We have,
coming up.
we have Lake Dardanelle, so there's 3, and then we have there's one more, man.
Well, some of us are going to the College Classic.
He's actually
Dardanelle.
qualified for the college classic, which is through BASS. We sent 3 teams to the national championship last year, so we had to pick basically who we wanted to send to one of the most awesome tournaments that any college kid can get a chance to fish in. They actually weigh in right before the pros at the Bassmaster Classic, which that is the Super Bowl of bass fishing. And through our point systems, they managed to be the number 1 seat going into our last tournament. And I mean, they just fished their butts off and really did well. So they get to go, and it's in Lake Houston, right? Lake Houston.
Lake Houston.
It's going to be awesome. They get to fish against literally the best college kids, and get to weigh in wherever the Bassmaster Classic is. It's a big place in Houston.
Do y'all compete for money? What else do y'all compete for? What does a winner get?
In college fishing, there's not a whole lot of actual money. It's more of school year, school pride, all that kind of stuff. In some of our tournaments, like first place will be $2,000, and then maybe $1,000 and five. They'll pay like top 5. But in college fishing, we don't actually have entry fees to our tournaments. So that's all donated money that they give out. Other than that, you fish for school year points. Last year, when we were at the national championship, we found out at our banquet dinner that we were sitting number 1 in the country with this year's points, starting this year's fishing that we're in. When we were finishing up last year's, we weren't very high, but going into this year, we actually were the number 1 seat coming in through our first 2 tournaments last semester, and then we kind of dropped the ball last semester at one of our tournaments, so we dropped down to 14. But through their great finishes the past couple weeks, and then another top 10, we've climbed back up. I think we're in 14th, and we have 4 more tournaments or 5 more tournaments to get it back up before we get to the national championship, and then those are all double points. So
Do y'all fish through the winter or the fall?
yes, it's both semesters, and we fish during the summer. As long as you have a 2.0 in college bass fishing, you can fish, and you have to be a full-time student. So we get to fish year round, and not just in college. We get to fish whatever circuits we want outside of that, which is great. It's not like NFL or something where once you go to a pro, you can't fish college or anything, or play college.
All right, guys. Well, that's all the questions for today. They actually have a nationals, like its location released in November, October. So we'll come back with a, with a follow up with them, with some of the guys. Maybe we might get some different guys in here. We might get the same guys, but that's all the questions we have.